Hello friends, Misilla here. I hope that you guys are having a great day. So lately I have been experimenting with growing microgreens, and some were grown in coconut coir only and some with coconut coir and worm castings. And the results are very impressive, pretty amazing. Cannot wait to show you in this video. So I recorded from day 1 when I sowed the seeds and up to the 14th day where I took pictures of the microgreens, comparing the ones with worm castings and the ones without. So I'm going to show you one of the trays, but you'll have to watch the rest of the video to see the rest. So this is red cabbage. So look how beautiful and lush this is. And by the way, if you're not growing microgreens yet, they are so easy to grow. You can harvest them within 7 to 14 days after sowing the seeds. And also they are actually much more nutrient dense than their mature counterparts, from 4 to 40 times more vitamins and minerals. So I think it's really worth growing these. And again, it's so simple to do. You can do it indoors, near a window, under grow lights, and you can harvest fresh leafy greens, baby greens, throughout the fall winter months. Since it's too cold right now to garden outside, this is a great alternative to gardening, so indoors. Anyways, here is the video. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and also thank you to Misilla for partnering with me and doing this experiment. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. Thank you for watching. For our potting medium, I will be using fine coconut coir, thanks to Misilla for providing us with coconut coir and some worm castings for this experiment. So I'll be adding some water and this coconut coir will be expanding. Look at how quickly this is coming apart since it is finer. Coconut coir does not contain the bigger chips, and I do use warm water, which helps. This is going to be perfect for growing microgreens, but also can be used for many other plants that you grow in pots or in a raised bed. I am mixing 4 parts of fine coconut coir to about 1 part of worm castings. So if I fill up this cup all the way, that'll be about 20% coconut coir. And mix that together. I'm going to go ahead and fill up our microgreen trays. Notice the difference in color. These trays do not contain worm castings and these ones do. So we are ready to sow the seeds. On the first row here, we are going to be sowing sunflower seeds. I pre-soaked these overnight to help with speeding up the germination. Next, we're going to be sowing some red cabbage seeds. So you want to sow them densely if you're growing microgreens. So I actually ended up sowing about a teaspoon each on these trays. Next one, we're going to be growing kale. So I'll just go ahead and sow about a teaspoonful onto these trays. What you want to do is press down the seeds gently with your dry hands. So remember, the potting medium is pre-moistened, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of mist water. You want to keep the potting medium moist. If you do not have any covers for your tray, you can actually use a plastic bag or saran wrap to cover your trays. If not, you can also leave them just open, just like so. Just make sure to mist them daily. Germination time will vary depending on the seeds you are sprouting. Once they sprout, go ahead and put your trays under your grow light. So it's been 4 days since I sowed the seeds, and this is how they look like right now. So I'm going to be taking off the lids and the plastic covers probably in a couple of days. I just want them to sprout some more and grow a little bigger. These are the kale microgreens. Check out the root hair. This is normal in some sprouts or sprouting seeds. They can look like mold, but they are just the fine root hair. Day 5 update. So the last update was actually last night. Look at the growth overnight. So this is the red cabbage with the worm castings. Look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the plastic red cabbage without the worm castings. Look at the difference here. See the difference? Look how much taller these ones are. So these are the ones with worm castings. And next to it are the ones without worm castings. So the worm castings not only provide nutrients, plant hormones, which help with growth, but also retains more moisture. So having more moisture in the potting medium will help with the germination rate as well. Okay, back over here are the sunflower seeds. To the left are the ones with the worm castings, and to the right are the ones without worm castings. Last two containers are some wheatgrass that we sowed a day after the rest of the microgreens were sown. To the left is the container with the worm castings, and to the right does not contain any worm castings. 6-day update, and I went ahead and placed them under the grow light, which will help accelerate their growth. 7-day update, and with the grow light off, so you can see their beautiful true colors, and also it's easier to tell the difference in growth. Look at these. So these can be harvested now, but I'm going to go ahead and let them all grow until the 10th day, and we'll see how much more they grow. Red cabbage, and without worm castings. Kale with, kale without. Back row we've got the wheatgrass with, wheatgrass without, and then sunflower microgreens. To the left are with, and right without. So it's been 11 days since I sowed the seeds. Look at the difference in growth. Check out the difference between these two red cabbage microgreens. I'm going to go ahead and pick one of the leaves and compare it to the other ones just to see the difference in size. Look at this, pretty astonishing. So the ones fed with worm castings are twice as big and long. As you can see the difference even on the leaves. Pretty amazing stuff. Look how much fuller the ones to the left are. Height difference on the wheatgrass, sunflower. Look at that. Now the ones to the right actually started to dampen off. And remember, worm castings not only feed the plants, it actually improves the health of our soil or whatever potting medium that we're using. When you're growing microgreens and most plants, make sure that your containers have drainage holes, which can prevent root rot or mold. So I usually just place them on the tray here to catch the excess water. And to determine if your microgreens need watering, you can just simply lift up the trays. And if it feels light, that needs to be watered. This is actually lighter than it was a couple of days ago. So I'm going to go ahead and just bottom water. So I usually just put a little bit of water on the tray. So just like this, it's about 1/4 to 1/2 inch at the most, depending on how dry your potting medium is. And you just put it back right there. So just like so. So now, how often should I water the microgreens? Well, it depends on the air temperature and also the plants that you are growing. Some plants tend to absorb more water than others. I noticed that I didn't need to water the sunflower microgreens as much. But it seems that the kale and red cabbage tend to dry out faster. But then again, it depends on the air temperature. But you can determine also, again, just by, lifting the trays. If it feels light, then go ahead and water them like I showed you before. By the way, I want to mention that these trays that I use to grow microgreens in are just pretty much food containers that I save and reuse. So you can use like cookie pans or bread pans, pie plates, so all sorts of stuff. But you can also use just regular pots, just like that. So whatever you have on hand. So let's harvest some microgreens, but before I do that, I'd love to show you the root system of both trays. These are the red cabbage microgreens grown in coconut coir and worm castings, and kale without worm castings, just coconut coir. So since we're growing in coconut coir, the roots tend to attach itself and wrap around itself around the fiber, so it's easy to lift it out of the tray. Look at that, pretty impressive. Actually, it's quite amazing. Look at all those roots. So now we've seen the microgreens that were fed with worm castings are much bigger, they grew quicker, and now look at the root system. So when the plants have a good and established root system, they are able to take up nutrients and water at a better rate, which will accelerate their growth. So this is a great experiment. I'm so glad that I did this because you can definitely see the difference when plants are fed with a good fertilizer or worm casting. In this case, they do so much better. It is nature's fertilizer, guys. There's no toxins in there. It feeds the soil, it feeds the plant. Overall, the plants are healthier and you'll be eating healthy as well. To harvest microgreens, you can just take a pair of kitchen shears, or some people cut just straight across with a sharp knife. So I've got my kitchen shears ready here, and I usually just take a bunch at a time. So I just harvest what I need at the moment and then just leave the rest on the trays. So you can simply just grab a bunch, and you want to cut just about an inch above your potting medium or above the soil, whatever you're using. So just like that, and snip away. Microgreens are so versatile. They can be used in many recipes. I'm going to be making an omelet out of this. They can be used to top off soups. You can mix it in with your salads, top off pizzas, sandwiches, burgers. There are so many different uses for microgreens, and again, they are nutritious and delicious, and they are just packed full of flavor. After you harvest, just give it a quick rinse in cool running water, just like that. Now, I was thinking you can actually even probably use microgreens in spring rolls or even egg rolls. The worm castings not only accelerated plant growth, the plants are also bigger, they look healthier. This is because worm castings contain micro and macronutrients, beneficial microbes and fungi that actually enhance the plant's immunity, and also the plant hormones that help with plant growth.